So in order to do this, hopefully you watched the review video before this, okay? So one thing that we learned is our little key here. So we have plus, normal adding goes to the right. So plus a negative moves to the left. If I have normal subtraction, it moves to the left. If I have minus and negative, it moves to the right. Pause the video so you can write this key down, okay? So we have to make sure we know this. Minus a negative, it's actually getting bigger. Plus a negative, it's getting smaller. So on this, we have same, sum, add. That's one thing we were learning about. Or, I'll put it over here, different, subtract. So we are not going to add or subtract numbers until we can see the arrows over both numbers. Okay, because the arrows are really telling us what to do. And I know this is a little non-traditional. I know some of you have been taught some kind of generic rule without being explained why. This will tell you why, okay? So we're going to start right here so that we can move away from doing the counters. You're always welcome to use those, but if our numbers get big, then we don't want to have to use like 38 counters or 925 counters, okay? So I see -4, okay? So a leading negative, where does it start on the number line? If you look there, you can tell a leading negative starts to the left. So this can represent a leading negative, or it can represent normal subtraction. Okay? So now I'm done here. Don't do what I'm about to do. I'm going to look here. I see +9. Plus, normal adding goes to the right. And y'all know that. That's what y'all learned when you were younger. When you were adding, you're moving to the right. Okay? Now, are these arrows going in the same or different directions? Hopefully you can tell they are going in different directions. So it actually is going to appear like we are subtracting. Difference, subtract. So I'm going to subtract 9, take away 4. What's 9 take away 4? Hopefully you know it's 5. Now I want you to look carefully how much I'm going to the left, how much I'm going to the right. Do you think this will be a positive or a negative answer? Hopefully you can tell it will be positive because I am moving more to the right. I'm looking at the arrow, I'm moving more to the right. Okay? So now we're going to do number 2. These are the ones I've told you before that give people a lot of trouble. So right here, I'm just looking at this part right here. -7, okay? The leading negative tells me I start to the left on the number line, okay? I'm going to switch colors now. Now I'm just looking here, okay? Don't look here. -11. Well, if I have minus, normal subtraction, that tells me I'm moving to the left, okay? Now, look at those arrows. Do they go in the same direction or different direction? Hopefully you can tell they go in the same direction. Same, sum, add. So it actually is going to appear like we are adding these. So what is 7 plus 11? Do that on your paper. Now, do you think this answer will be positive or negative? Hopefully you chose negative because everything is going to be to the left of 0. Okay? Now, we already did number 3 on the video, so I'm not going to do that. And now we're going to move to number 4. So before we get started on number 4 together, look at -17, and I want you to put an arrow over it. Did you put an arrow to the left or to the right? Did you put an arrow to the left or to the right? Left or to the right? hopefully you put it to the left because it's a leading negative. Okay, negative starts to the left. Now I have plus, so I'm not going to look here. Don't do this. I'm not going to look at that. I have plus 4. Which way does plus go? According to my key, it goes to the right because we know normal addition gets bigger. That's actually what's happening here. Okay? So, now that I have both arrows, are they in the same or different direction? Hopefully you chose different. Different, difference, subtract. I need you to subtract 17 and 4. Do that right now. What's 17 take away 4? Hopefully you put 13. Now, is it negative or positive? I want you to think. Is my answer negative or positive? Hopefully you chose negative because it's more to the left. So think, if I start at negative 17, which is right there, and I'm moving 4, it doesn't even matter the direction. If I move 4, which in this case I'm moving this way, 1, 2, 3, 4, it's still a negative answer, okay? It's still a negative answer. Okay, so now let's look at number 5. Okay, so I want you to put your own arrow here for negative 2. Hopefully you put that to the left. Okay, now don't look here. Don't do that, but don't look there. What do you see here? Put your arrow. Hopefully you can tell minus normal subtraction goes to the left. So when I'm looking, I'm not looking at this negative 2. I'm just looking right there. That's normal subtraction. Same, sum, add. Same, sum, add. Okay? So 2 plus 3, 5. Is that going to be positive or negative? Hopefully you can tell it's negative because everything is to the left of 0. I start at negative 2 and I move more to the left, okay? Now, some of you are taught something similar to like same, change, change. It still will work out the same. So, same, change, change. If you learned it, I don't like teaching that, is negative 2. That's the same. Change that to a plus. Change, I don't see a sign, so it's positive, so it becomes negative. But it's still going to end up being the same, okay? So all you're doing is you're telling me the direction that they're going, and that's going to tell you whether you add or subtract. If you just look at the middle sign, it's going to throw you off, I'm going to tell you. Okay, so if I look here on number 2 at minus, you're going to have some form of a 4 here, a positive or a negative. If I look at this plus, you're going to have a 13 there, positive or negative, okay? So don't just look there, okay? So I believe, nope, we didn't do number 6 yet. So 6 is 6 minus negative 4. So put an arrow over the 6. Hopefully you put to the right because that is a positive, a leading positive. Now I see minus negative. Look here, minus a negative. What does it tell me? It tells me to the right. So now I ask myself, same or different? Same or different? They're both moving right. They're going in the same direction. Same, sum, add. So, what do you get when you add 6 and 4? Now, is it positive or negative? Hopefully you can tell it's positive. I can put a positive. I don't have to. It doesn't matter. Hopefully you can tell that because everything is to the right of 0 on that problem. It's all to the right. It starts to the right and it moves to the right. Okay? So number 7 we did on the video. Okay? Number 8 is a little special exception here because we start at 0, right? So we don't really put an arrow on that one. Okay? But from 0, which way do we move? We move to the left, right? Or correct? We move to the left. So guess what our answer is? It's -9. Most of you know that. Okay, so we are going to do number 9, and then you are going to finish these up by yourself. Okay? So, number 9. Which way is your arrow? Now look here, just right there. You can cover the -1 with your hand if you want. -12, which way does that go? Perfect. So, are these same or different? Okay, so I want you to finish this problem and tell me what answer you get. Hopefully you got -13. Okay, so we are going to do the rest of these on, we will do them on the little kind of quiz / assignment.